Because 2000 is a no for you.
Yeah.
Imagine a lakh of people give you 2000. That's a big number, right?
Absolutely.
So it works like that?
Yeah, it works flexibly. It works like that because what your mind will do, it will, if it's a flexible container, it will always be full. I think that's the good thing, right?
Very good thing.
Yeah, or having something
But-
always full, right, is amazing. So I always believe that if you have a particular a piggy bank in your house, always take the small one because it fills faster.
Yeah.
You understand? At least when it fills, you can break and you're like, oh my, this is. You start with keeping your piggy banks full. Now, if you can keep a piggy bank full, your bank will also someday become full.
Here, I was just going to. I'm interrupting you because when you said you always keep your piggy bank, you said full. I was going to say small. I was like so stupid. The idea is completely different.
Yeah.
You're talking about keeping it full, and we all are thinking about keeping it small so it gets full.
No, I'm thinking about keeping that fullness always there. If you are full of energy, if you're full of wealth, if you're full of that desire, if you're full, that's what I call is focus. That's where there's no other room for anything else. It's completely full.
Good morning, everyone. And the topic is also today about not getting lost. And we are at that point, me and my team, we are just these bunch of people who are now, even at the studio, we were discussing about the same things, which I'll introduce you. So I'll just keeping this hook to discuss with our guest who's coming today that how about the things which are there, like being careful and careless. What is focus about? And then we'll dive deeper into it. But just to give you a recap, what we are doing, we have completed, as of now, we are doing our manifestation series, and we have completed first the resolution manifestation, which was about your resolve, which you took up for this year. And then the second one was qualities to manifest, becoming that container which can hold the potential to manifest things within it. And then the third one was your intention, as intention remains in all of the 8 steps which we are going to do. Intention becomes the most important thing, which is the driving force for your every action you do. And then the power of words, the conversation which you have with people. Are you sticking to the conversations which are related to your resolve, or you are getting deviated from them? And then it was the part we took was karma, the time to deliver. From there we saw that all the actions start coming in. Before that we were still on the R&D basis, where you were still having those key ingredients like your resolve being put in, then your intention being what is your intention behind it, and then coming up words to like a vision and mission statement for you to repetitively look at and share it with others. And then we went on to the blueprint for success, which is discipline in your livelihood, how you can do an action which is repetitively done and put it into a discipline, so there that action which was before that gets into a cycle of discipline. And then we did the part where synergy comes in, where your discipline, you have to now even give your discipline. It's like you are driving a car. You cannot do it just one wheel, only one circle moving round and round. You need multiple wheels, which are the 4 wheels to drive somewhere. And that is the synergy of these 4 wheels which take you somewhere. And today we have come to the point where we are going to discuss the topic focus, and the title is The Focus, the Art of Not Getting Lost. And there are also some great people out there who have shared some things about focus, and then also focus is also known as Dhyana. So I just wanted to show these videos to you. One is from a great businessman, entrepreneur, visionary, Steve Jobs, and another one is by Alan Watts, who is a great speaker and a philosopher. So Kevin, can you play those videos, please?
What about Open Doc?
What about Open Doc?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about it? It's dead, right? It's dead, right?
Well, I don't know. I spent a lot of time working on it.
Yeah. Well, let me say something this sort of generic. I know some of you spent a lot of time working on stuff that we put a bullet in the head of. I apologize. I feel your pain. But Apple suffered for several years from lousy engineering management. I have to say it. And there were people that were going off in 18 different directions, doing arguably interesting things in each one of them. Good engineers, lousy management. And what happened was, you look at the farm that's been created with all these different animals going in different directions, and it doesn't add up. The total is less than the sum of the parts. And so we had to decide, what are the fundamental directions we're going in, and what makes sense and what doesn't. And there were a bunch of things that didn't. And microcosmically, they might have made sense. Macrocosmically, they made no sense. And, the hardest thing is, when you think about focusing, right? You think, well, focusing is saying yes, no. Focusing is about saying no. Focusing is about saying no. And you've got to say no, no, no. And when you say no, you piss off people. And they go talk to the San Jose Mercury, and they write a shitty article about you. And it's really a pisser. Because you want to be nice. You don't want to tell the San Jose Mercury, the person that's telling you this, just was asked to leave, or this or that or this or that. So you take the lumps. And Apple's been taking their share of lumps for the last 6 months in a very unfair way. And it's been taking them, like an adult. And I'm proud of that. And there's more to come, I'm sure. There's more to come. I mean, I read these articles about some of these people that have left. I know some of these people. They haven't done anything in 7 years. And, they leave, and it's like, it's like the company's going to fall apart the next day. And so, I think there'll be stories like that come and go. But focus is about saying no. And the result of that focus is going to be some really great products where the total is much greater than the sum of the parts. And OpenDoc, I was for putting a bullet in the head of OpenDoc. A, I didn't think it was great technology, but B, it didn't fit. The rest of the world isn't going to use OpenDoc. And I think as a container strategy, there's some stuff in the Java space that's much better. And even the OpenDoc guys were basically trying to rewrite the whole thing in Java anyway, which was a restart. So it didn't make sense.
Yeah. So I think it is the main statement here for us to focus on is something very interesting. What Steve Jobs so long ago shared about was that focusing is about saying no. And this is a very completely opposite thing. Like, we thought focusing would be more about saying yes, right? Like saying yes to this, yes to that. And then I can focus on here. But here Steve is talking about no. Like, no to this, no to that. It makes a little sense. But because as we have been studying even the practice of Shunya, where we do the reverse counting, which is there. And then you're saying no, 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 no to when you're doing your count. So that we'll dive deeper into it. But an interesting line by Steve here, and then he even shared the experience when backed up his statement why it is important to say no to things. Because when you're trying to make a product or something, the example was of a product, you cannot put everything into one product itself, and that is why the example came in. But can we apply it into different aspects of our life and different areas? That we'll get to know today. And also focus focus is also, this is the stage where we are discussing the word in in Sanskrit is called Dhyana. And there is another great speaker and philosopher, Alan Watts, who shares a bit about what is this word Dhyana, where does it come from, and what is the role even of Shunya with it. So I would just like to share that video with you as well.
Zen, of course, is a Japanese word, and it's spelled Z-E-N. And that is the Japanese way of pronouncing the Chinese word Chan. And this, in turn, is the Chinese way of pronouncing an Indian Sanskrit word, Dhyana. And Dhyana refers to the kind of experience which has been represented in this circle. Another word for it would be a second Sanskrit term, shunya. And the nearest we can translate shunya in English is emptiness or void. And so we might say this is an experience of the void. Before trying to explain what this is, and you know the funny thing is it really can't be explained because it has to be felt, because it's a transformation of one's basic feeling, one's basic consciousness of life. But I should mention first that it is characteristic of Eastern philosophy.
Yeah, so that was an interesting insight by Alan Watts. I think many of us didn't know that where did actually, I mean, the ones who have been joining in the Shunya talks and who have been listening to Dr. Ling and Dr. Lim and Dr. Rajesh, they have been sharing this with us. So just another reminder that Zen is nothing but, which went from India as Dhyana to China, a Chan, and then from China to Japan, which was now became Zen. And Dhyana, interestingly, he says another Sanskrit term which is used, Shunya. So at that point, great speaker like Alan Watts shared this. And now it is time to bring another one, another great speaker who has been joining us in this series and who has been leading us through all the aspects of these 8 steps. And he is none other than Dr. Rajesh Savera. So welcome, Rajesh sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, Guru.
Yeah. So as we have been waiting for you also, and I think you saw these videos where Steve Jobs is talking about focusing, which is about saying no. So can you make us take us through all these terms, that how focusing can be something which is about saying no and yes, where we believe that it's when I say yes, I want this, then that means I'm focusing on that thing. And yeah.
So when you say yes to a specific thing and no to many things, right? So when you say yes, like you go to a shopkeeper and tell that, okay, he shows you 100 shirts and you want to buy one. So you say yes to one because you are ready to say 99 no's to the other ones, right? So technically your no's are more in comparison to your yes. So that is why he's saying that when you are focused on something, there are many things in that journey of fulfilling that focus and achieving that focus, you'll have to let go and say no to this. So maybe you like that shirt, but you like the other one also a little bit, but you can only buy one. So even though you like it a little bit, this will look good on a nice birthday party, it would go well with that particular theme. But since you can only buy one, that's what focus is all about. You let go of everything that is not in line with the focus that you have. So no's are a part of everything that you have chosen yes as a focus for.
Oh, so in that context.
Yes, that's in context.
So the example of, I remember when I was listening to your video, you give an example of a chiseler.
Yeah.
So where he is saying no to all of these things, so where then at the end he has something which is a yes.
Yeah, so like a doctor when he's doing a surgery, okay, when he is very focused in his surgery. So he wants a particular instrument. Imagine the nurse there says, sir, you want this? He says, no. Sir, you want this? No. No. He wants one specific thing. So that is why he will give a very specific instruction. I want this. Give this. It's a very direct communication. If there is an offering, there's always no, because it's not in alignment with what you want. So many organizations that lead the organization with their people being aligned with the vision and mission, they are the ones who always achieve the focus area that the organization is intending to achieve, right? Like if they want to achieve, a kind of a health and wellness concept across all domains, like DXN, and they will make sure that from the vision of Dr. Lim to the vision of the distributor, all are aligned and focused only in that area.
Great. It was just nice to know that it's also when we say something to yes, also we should keep in our mind we are saying no to all the other.
Many things, many things.
Is it important to have when we are looking at it? Because it's the same thing, right? When I'm saying yes, then it's also a no. We know that. But is it important for us to understand this concept for some reason?
I think if you are the one who understands that my focus is this and my choice is this and my yes is to this, it's but natural to say no to everything else that comes along, right? Many things, right? You're a young boy, you're going to get married. You might like 100 girls, but you can only say yes to one and get married. In India, at least, you can marry to live one, right? So marriage will be always one, and that should be focused marriage. You cannot have an unfocused marriage. So remember that yes will come with a lot of no's. Do you have the ability to let go of those things that might, distract you? That might feel like, no, we should also keep that. People have this tendency, in their house, in Japan, and especially in their culture, they have this habit of keeping the house empty of the things that they don't use. Okay. But in India, we have a culture, no, we keep it. We'll need it someday. We'll keep it. We need it. So you go into any apartment today, any house today, you will always find almost around 80 to 85% of the things that they don't use daily. They might be using like after 6 months or 1 year, but they keep it. And that's the tendency of holding on to things. And that tendency makes their house very cluttered. The space is gone. But if you are the one, that last 6 months I've not been wearing this shirt, I've not been using it, I don't need it, I will not keep it for one odd day that I might need it, right? So I let go of everything. My wardrobe is simple, empty, but it's new. You understand? I have everything that I'm using. So if you can learn this art of being focused, you can apply this in every day in your life. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that because when I had got introduced to this subject, my wardrobe has these so many clothes. Now it has nothing there.
Yeah.
So it becomes easy to manage also.
Absolutely.
So is it because it is easy to manage, we should understand
No,
this?
because you're focused, you don't need to manage. It is the outcome of that.
Yeah.
Focus is an outcome of you making things so easy that there is no need for you to manage. They all go in alignment with what you have thought for.
So now we would like to know from you, like the word focus itself and the whole definition about it. What is focus? We got an idea of it, but as per you, what is focus?
So focus, if you have to understand, you have to understand a little bit of physics, okay? A camera or the lens basically can get in the light, okay? And you can have a clear vision through that lens only if it's in focus. Focus, it should not be too far too close. It should be in the right optimum space, distance. There it is going to show things very clearly. So every camera comes with a lens which has a focal length mentioned on it. So we should understand the pictures are clear only when they are in focus. Okay. If they are not in focus, they are all blurred. People who are not focused in life, they live a blurred life. They live a life of just possibilities and experiments. They don't have clarity. And without clarity, your pace is slow. You don't have clarity, hence you're not able to take decisions. Confusion is the only thing that remains. And you live and your life on assumptions. Fear, anxiety, worry become the quality of such a person. Okay, they are very uncertain about things because everything is blurred. But once there is focus and the mind is in focus with what it really wants, it will see things very clearly, and hence the journey will be with clarity, with confidence, and to the point where they will be successful in whatever they do.
Yeah. And as you were sharing these things about where a person will get those, the aspects when focus is not there, and something like we face the glitch, and you were sharing behind the scenes that how in the beginning also I left that as a hook about being that, the difference between carelessness and the carefulness. How does that, what role focus plays in it? And because sometimes you said that even confidence can lead towards that. So when maybe we are focused and in a journey the confidence seeps in and suddenly that focus tumbles down. What causes then, and how should we prevent it, and have a look at it.
So focus is nothing but continuous awareness, right? Awareness of what you're doing. So that is a quality. The mind doesn't have this habit of being continuously in a state of awareness. Like the horses, they need to be actually tied up in a way so that they can pull the chariot. You cannot let them loose. They will not be able to pull the chariot. So focus is very, very important for a person, because focus keeps him tied up with all the things that he has planned himself to do. And one who is in focus is definitely going to have those challenges. He cannot be careless. How can you be careless when you're in focus? Focus is being 100% in the act that you're doing, 100%. And because you're focused, there is no way you will go wrong, because it is not possible. Because focus says that I can get the sun in your palms, like with the magnifying glass.
Yeah.
If I can get the rays of the sun which are spread to focus on a sheet of paper, I can burn the sheet of paper there in that itself, right? So I can get the power of the sun with focus on the paper, right, to burn it. Same is with all your scattered thoughts, all your scattered mind. When you get yourself into focus, then there is hardly a chance of error. But people think focus is something that they can choose and decide. It is never going to be so. If you look at the eightfold methods of resolution, fulfilling a resolution that you're doing, focus is coming way after, right? Almost at the 7th level.
And second last.
So out of the 8
You
steps,
always tell me that if there are 7 numbers and there are 8 numbers, 8th is the byproduct of 7. So
Exactly.
technically this is the last one.
So you can imagine focus is the last thing of all the preparation that you have done. A chef going to cook a dish, but because he is in alignment with what he wants to cook, now he has everything prepared, and now he's going to cook. Cooking is focus. He cannot be careless in the art of cooking when he's cooking the dish. It's going to take 5 minutes for him to prepare the dish. Maybe he took 5 hours to prepare everything else to make the 5-minute dish. But when he's the most important, all that 5 hours is going to be like this 5 minutes is going to be the essence. So his focus is going to be now visible with what he did. He's going to take all the elements of the efforts that he's put in and now prepare the dish.
Crazy. I mean, we believe that at the end, at least it should become a little more simpler or easier. But you are telling us, in the end, it is the most crucial and important part. Like, running a race. Every athlete has an idea that first I'll push in, at least near the end. But that guy, have you seen Usain Bolt's that 100-meter run? At the end, he ran so much that he even crossed the finishing line and landed up in the stands.
Yeah.
So that is the whole idea which you're trying to share with us.
Absolutely. You see, look at the arrow. The shape of the arrow is, the point where it actually ends is focus, right? That's where it actually is the killer arrow. It can kill because it is focused. That's the purpose. So when you are focused, and focus means getting everything that you started with, your qualities, making sure that you have those qualities so that you can even be eligible to make a resolution. Then because of making a resolution, you're in the world of those thoughts that are aligned with your resolution. Then your conversation, your speech, your talks are in alignment with your thoughts and your resolution. Then your action, whatever you're doing is in alignment. Then the effort that you're putting, all those things, they all will be now cumulated and be visible as a focus. And hence, focus is an outcome of all the efforts that you have put in. But it still has to be there. You have to bring them together, right? If you do not gather all that together, you will be left to lose. All your hard work, if you are not able to keep that focus, is gone. So many people, they do a lot of work in their life, but because they lack that last skill of focusing.
So focusing is bringing things together.
Yes, and consolidating it and bringing it to the point where that is 100% concentration, nothing else. It's the essential oil of the flower. You can understand. It's a most purest form of the thought, because there is never one thought. There are millions of thoughts that come with one. There's not one action. There are many actions that come together. So you can have one desire, but to manifest that one desire, you need so many things. But along with that, at the end, all of that needs to be concentrated exactly into the point where you fulfill the desire. You understand?
Yeah. I mean, when we see these great people out there, as you said, it's a skill. So I wanted to check with you, like you were sharing that you should also, have this question whether it is intrinsic or it is cultivated. As all like Steve Jobs and these great people out there, many like Steve Jobs, but they have this skill, and you said that many lack this skill. Why is it so? What is the difference between the one who has it and the one who lacks it?
One who has a skill is because he's worked towards that skill. Nobody is born with a skill.
But
maybe they born with
you're saying there are these people who work hard and at the end they miss out on it.
Yeah.
What is that challenge? Because they have done the work here, but still at the end they miss it out.
Yeah, means it will be a fool who is trying to dig a well in a desert, right?
Yeah.
He's working hard, but he's absolutely unaware of what he's doing. So awareness is to be there in what you're doing, where you're doing, how you're doing. So many things come along with it. And that's exactly what focus is. So a focused person is going to ask tons of questions. He's going to want to know everything. When he knows everything, when he experiments himself, he experiences it himself, then he goes through that whole journey where he is now confident to deliver. And all the preparation he has done, as I said, and now is the time for performance. So performance is the peak where all your effort is now going to show up as the focus that is there. So performance is focus. Okay, preparation is making you able to get to that point where you can perform. So when you look at the person who's going to dig a well, he's going to check into so many aspects, get to know what is the ground level, are there water bodies around, how is the rain, how long does it be, look at the plants, are there green plants, everything. He knows that definitely there is water around. He'll do tons of things and then he'll go digging. Then he's exactly putting his effort into the place where he has to do. Now, is that what he was aware of? Is that what we call focus? No. When he was aware a long time back. He had a resolution that he wants to dig a well, have water. Then he was able to think about it and he thought about all the aspects of it. Then he was able to communicate, interact, ask questions and all those things. Then he was able to do some actions, do some little trials, make sure that there are some organizations or experts whom he could approach and do some test possibility. Then he was able to put in the effort, the money that is required, or the team that he will need to approach. He will need somebody to dig that through. And after that, when he's sitting there, he's now brought all of that together and he's going to now sit there on a chair and tell them to dig. Digging there, he's just observing that the machines are digging, the people are there and everybody is engaged. And this guy is focused, is only to see that what he gathered all together, is that going to give out that spring of water. And once the water comes, everybody clap and they appreciate this guy who brought every element together so that there is water. You understand?
Wow.
That is focus.
And you always talk about where it is not limited to only one person. That's a beautiful aspect, because as you gave an example, I never in my life would imagine that you would lead it to all these factors.
Yeah.
Where there is a machine rolling in and everything. Because one would limit themselves ki, who would even come to me in a desert with a machine to dig and everything?
Absolutely.
But there is Burj Khalifa, but there are these things which are in desert, right? What are these doubts, why do they are there for some and not there for some, and how can we help, get rid of say no to these and make them...
Doesn't it begin with the journey when you made a resolution? When you made a resolution, you would have, say, hundreds of desire.
Yeah.
Then you said no, 31st of December, for the year 2025, I am going to take one or maybe two, whatever it is. But you've said no to the others.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? You learned the first thing of saying no to many and accepting the one. Now with the one, you are going to the next step. What is it? That you're checking whether the qualities I have or not. And then when you made the qualities, you realize I think the capability is there, the personality is there, I can put in the effort. Then he said, okay, I will, this is a tangible thing that I can do. This is a tangible time frame in which I can achieve this. And you said yes, and you went on a journey. Then your thoughts started to flood in. Many thoughts came in. How many of that did you neglect? Let's do this, give it up and all the, yes, only to the thoughts that aligned with that. No to all those millions of thoughts that came in. Okay, then you went and then you had a conversation. Every time you had a conversation, it was in alignment with your resolution. You were least interested in any conversation that was not. Because it was okay to listen to people or talk to, but it was not giving you anything that you are wishing
That is
for.
one good thing we learned this year, where your conversation is not necessary, better leave from that place.
Absolutely.
If it is not giving you anything, and the result tells you whether it is giving you anything or not, because the result demands from you.
Absolutely.
And then you are just like, there, I have to give it now, I have set it. And that's a good thing, I mean, it's when you have a result, a lot of space clears in for you to act accordingly.
So you see, that's exactly it's a lot of no's that keep you in track on the yes that you have made. So you see, the word solution is for problem, right? So when there is a problem, there will be a solution, correct? When you have to have tons of problems, then how many solutions you need? Tons of solutions, right? And when you have to do something again and again, we use the word repeat. So resolution is nothing but holding on to the solutions that will come with all the problems that will follow because you have made a desired resolution. So solution, keep on giving your solutions to all the problems that will come. They will come in different forms.
Wow.
Yeah, so you have to have this understanding that my efforts, I will put 99 of that will not be right. But one will say, yes, this is right. So till that one doesn't come, I have to again say no. So it's not an easy journey to be in focus. You see, now again you go, every time you make it into a livelihood, maybe it doesn't give you a penny first. Maybe you're still putting your effort and you're saying, yeah, I want to make it my livelihood. It doesn't work like that. I'm putting the discipline in it. So many things I have to say no. Exactly. It's the focus says that so. And then you'll realize that there will be a point where you'll be sitting and whatever you did, you'll be watching it now unreveal itself. And that's exactly what we say focus. And this focus is also called as V, means special, Pasyana, means to see. Okay, now here you're specially seeing all that has been put into effort. Why do you observe? So that if anything in this has gone off track, you bring it back on track. Okay, that is why you see focus is related to Dhyana. And Dhyana is a meditative technique. Meditative is nothing but concentration. Concentration of your awareness on a single pointedness. On a single pointedness of act, of a feeling, of a thought, whatever it is. Only single. So all that, no, to the point of one yes.
Great. So, as you shared that, before I go and ask you about the questions on Dhyana, I would like to ask that, there is this certain aspect, I don't know whether others carry it, but I have seen in some also. So maybe this can be a general question. Like as you said that you were building this well, then suddenly others are coming in all this. What is the idea or the perspective which we lack, or we are not having that vision where when people like Steve Jobs, they see others also coming and doing it for them. Why do we feel shy of others doing it for us? Is this a challenge we can face?
Yeah, because when you are thinking as a separate self and you think that you are the doer and there is nobody else who can do better than you, that's a wrong concept.
Yeah.
Because your doing is dependent on many people's doing. No,
But at the end of the day, you said that the person gets benefit.
at the end, of course, the one who is going to lead the pack.
But if there is a better person, shouldn't they get the benefit?
But he will make his own pack. Wouldn't that work like that? Because if you are the queen bee, you'll have your own hive. And if the other, within that hive, there's another queen bee, she says, even I can make a hive, so go out and make a hive. It's like so simple.
Oh.
So if you're good and talented and you think you can do wonders in the world, who has stopped you? Nobody. You have to go out and do it. That's it. If you think you can gather a bunch of people, you can get a particular work done and you can perform, who has stopped you? Even if you look at DXN as a company, they give you an open leadership concept. You become a member today, build your team, become a billionaire. Who is stopping you? Nobody is stopping you. Right? You are the one who has to choose. You want to now transform your health. you're suffering from XYZ, you think, no, I can do it alone, and you want to do it alone, you'll be in difficulty. But if you think, I can do it and I can build my own, I don't need somebody's guidance, I can build my own. I want to study books, I want to meet people, I want to get into exercise, I will build my own team and, recover from that illness. Who's stopping you? Nobody is stopping you from doing that.
That was the confusion.
Yeah.
And because it's always good because when there are the people there, I mean, I was confused that if that person gets the credit, how will it make sense? But it's not. I think the limitation is what we imagine on ourselves, and that is where we limit.
So kingdoms are known by the kings. Teams are known by the leaders. Okay, organizations are known by the visionary promoters of this. So you should understand that you should be able to, if you want to take that responsibility, because it comes with lot of failures. You see, so many solutions you have to give, and it is not easy. So many a times, why people do not want to take up the leadership role is because it comes with a lot of responsibilities, and most of that responsibilities, 99 of the things you have to say no, and people don't like to say no. It's very difficult to say no for many things in your life. I think that's the only thing that is the most difficult. Yes is very easy, So if you have all the money, you'll buy everything in the shop. But that's not the reality, right? You have not all the money that you can buy the whole mall, right? So you limit yourself, and you will have to say no to somebody and something, right? If somebody comes tomorrow to you and says, please buy this diamond, and you don't have the money, what will you say?
No.
Yeah, that's the answer you'll have to give based on reality, because you don't have it. But one day if you have a lot of money and somebody tells you this is the best diamond and you think it is worth investing, you'll say yes. So it all is on your journey. What have you decided? What are the resources you have? How much effort you have put to say yes and no? And I think yes is easy, the most easiest stuff, yes. And yet it is the most important thing because it keeps you in focus. But the most difficult thing is the 99 no's that you have to say. And that's why many people are not able to remain in focus.
So coming to the 99 no's, thank you for telling us the whole. Now it is much more clear for us that it is up to you whether you want to do it, whether you want to take up that responsibility, because it is going to come up with, because you have taken a very nicely coined, resolution. Because resolution will put you in a state where you have to give solutions. You need to be in that state where you keep on creating, giving, asking, whatever it is. It should be only about solution. Because if that, like you said, the reality is that the resolution would be only the thing which you don't have. Otherwise, why would you have a resolution if you already had it? So, great, Vadanda, you said it's about saying the 99 no's. And we were talking about Dhyana. And how Dhyana is a meditative practice which helps us concentrate, and then through concentration we are able to, because like these scattered thoughts, if we are able to bring them at one place, then we'll be easily able to observe them and then pick the ones which we need or which help us or not help us, and let go of all the others. How is Dhyana? What happened? Okay. All okay? How is Dhyana and focus are the same things, or is like Dhyana, focus is one of the elements of your Dhyan?
No, I think they are the one and same
They're
thing.
the one and
yeah,
same
a
thing.
concentrated mind on a particular subject or object or an act is what Dhyana is. So when your mind is concentrating on a particular act, and that's a program, that's a skill that you'll have to give your mind. If you train your mind in a particular way to be focused in a particular thing that it is doing, with all the cultivated awareness on the thing that it is doing, and not getting lost with the thoughts that are wandering here and there, I think that mind, which is now sharpened with the skill of Dhyana, can be used in everything that you want to do, and it will give you the same result as it gives you during the time of your practice. So it gives you peace in practice, and when you use that same mind in your day-to-day life, it will give you the peace and prosperity for you that you need. Because prosperity is the peace that we say for all the suffering of the material world, right? Because if you have all the things that you need, you are at peace, right? And the same is when you practice meditation. When your mind is completely still, you are at peace. So prosperity and peace, they are synonyms.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they are synonyms.
Yeah, they are synonyms, because imagine a person who has everything. Do you think he is disturbed in any way?
No.
No, he is at peace, because he has the right to make any choices, whatever he wants, right? His mind, when it is still, he is at peace. So, when he's sleeping, he is at peace. When he's wakeful, he is at peace. When he's wakeful, when he's interacting with the world, he has everything to interact with the world. When he wants to give, he can give. When he wants to buy, he can buy. When he wants to do anything, he can do, because he's so prosperous. So he's at peace. Definitely he's at peace.
So works both way around. When you have everything, you are at peace, and when you are at peace, you are not about everything. Is it like
No,
that?
when you are at peace, that means there is nothing left for you to
So
achieve
that
more.
is how you look at it.
Yeah, I look at peace as a point where there is
It
a
is not
satisfaction.
about- it is not about someone who has nothing, but they worked on their mind, but through that they feel peaceful.
Yeah. So it's like, you can imagine I have a magical glass.
Huh?
Okay. If this glass is big and it's full, I say it's full. When the water is less and my glass, I make it small and I say it's still full. Okay. So I am able to use my mind as a container to remain always in the state of fullness.
Yeah.
Okay. So there is no space, nothing left. Right. So that is what I call a samadhan. And it's samadhan, that means satisfaction, that leads you to that state of always having prosperity. Everything is there. I don't need anything more. I have so much, I have so much, I have so much. And this becomes your quality. And the mind that lives with that quality attracts everything of that quality. Yeah, so it will keep on attracting everything, and you'll always say, "Oh no, I have so much, I have so much, I have so much," and the world will see, "Yeah, this guy really has so much, man. He has so much, he has so much," because that's what you have been saying, that's what your mind has been doing, and they will see that you are at peace.
Even at the beginning state, like the initial stage, one who is cultivating this type of
Yeah.
mind, because this is not monetary or material, right?
It could be anything.
It could be,
Yeah.
but like to associate with material at the beginning, someone who's cultivating that kind of a mind, they don't have. But because they are able to switch their mind according to the the content, they have that journey. So it is all okay.
Yeah. So when we recruit some interns in our job, we give them 2,000 rupees. They are super happy.
Yeah.
Okay. Then after some time, their happiness starts to diminish. Then we give them another job, and now their 2,000 becomes 10,000. They are super happy. Now again, after some time, it diminishes. Then 15,000, they are super happy. 20,000, they are super. Life, they keep on bringing their container bigger. Now, if they get somebody tells them, okay, we'll give you 2,000, they are unhappy.
Yeah.
Because now this container is not more flexible. It has already reached the size of 20. Anything below that is going to make them very
dangerous.
But a flexible container, a mind that says, okay, no problem. At least I'm doing what I enjoy doing. At least I'm giving my 100%. Now, that fuller person who is always happy is able to take up 2,000, 20,000, but he's also eligible for 2 lakh. He's also eligible for 20 lakh.
Exactly.
And he's also eligible for 2 crore because he has a flexible container. And now he is working without expectation.
Yes.
Yeah.
And is it also like, because when you gave the example of 2,000, it was like once we fix ourselves with that 20,000, now you're also limiting 2,000 from a lakh of people.
Absolutely.
Because 2,000 is a no for you.
Yeah.
Imagine a lakh of people give you 2,000. That's a big number, right?
Absolutely.
So it works like that?
Yeah, it works flexibly. It works like that because what your mind will do, it will, if it's a flexible container, it will always be full. I think that's the good thing, right?
Very good thing.
Yeah, or having something always full, right, is amazing. So I always believe that if you have a particular a piggy box, piggy bank in your house, always take the small one. Because it fills faster.
Yeah.
You understand? At least when it fills, you can break and you're like, oh my, this is. You start with keeping your piggy banks full. Now, if you can keep a piggy bank full, your bank will also someday become full.
Yeah, I was just going to, I'm interrupting you because when you said you always keep your piggy bank, you said full, I was going to say small. I was like, so stupid. The idea is completely different.
Yeah.
You're talking about keeping it full and we all are thinking about keeping it small so it gets full.
No, I'm thinking about keeping that fullness always there. If you are full of energy, if you're full of wealth, if you're full of that desire, if you're full, that's what I call is focus. That's where there's no other room for anything else. It's completely full. So, remember the shlok Purnamada?
I was just going to ask you that Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vishashyate.
So now you have
tell us
the
about
super formula for being successful in life.
How?
From the full comes the full.
Okay.
From the full, if you take half of it, what still remains is full. Okay. So you know the formula. Fullness is a quality. Okay. Now when you make yourself into a quality person of fullness, whatever in your life, whatever situation, you'll always be full. And existence will test your fullness. Okay. This guy is full at 1,000. Let me see if he's full at 2,000. Hey, he's still full at 2,000. Let me see if he's full at 10,000. My goodness, he's full at 10. It will just keep on testing you till see your capacity. It's like, see, when you go to the gym, if 5 kg is what you can lift that day, okay, your body will say, okay, but you will test your body with another 6 kg. One day you will increase. No, this is, okay, 7 kg, 8 kg, 10 kg. You do it to your body so that it becomes better and better and bigger and bigger. Your muscles improve.
Obviously,
Right? This is if what you do to your body, isn't that what the existence is going to do to you? It's going to build you.
Yes.
It's going to make you fuller as you take more and more challenges in your life. If you are successful in A, it'll give you a challenge B. Test you for challenge B. If you're successful in B, it says, my goodness, let me give you a tougher challenge. C, D, all these challenges come. But if you remain focused on what you want to do and saying no to the other things and saying yes to that only one thing that you want to do, that thing will put you into tons of challenges. And that challenge is if you can win over those challenges by either saying no to them or saying yes to the things that you want to, and then making the effort and all those things that you followed with, that will keep you in focus. And in focus, when you are there, the picture is very clear. And when the picture is clear, definitely everything is clear. That is where prosperity lies.
Then what about the next line, which is first is Purnamadam?
Purnam Ada means
Purnam
this is
Ada.
full. Okay, now let's go with the piggy bank, because piggy bank means when you have a small piggy bank, it's full. Okay, then that is full. Another piggy bank is also full. Now my 2 piggy banks are full. Okay, so if I have this habit of keeping full, then I am the one who is saying that from the full comes the full. Now I'll take another full and I will try to put that a big container which has the capacity for 2. I'll put both of them and I say even this from these 2 halves is also full. Okay, so it's me who defines fullness for me so that I live with a quality. Actually, it's a quality. So I used to, when I used to explain to my daughter this shlok, I used to explain it in terms of quality. I used to give her a cake and I used to say, this cake is sweet. Okay, fully it is sweet. Okay, I cut it half. The half that I gave you is still fully sweet. The half I have is also fully sweet. From the half, also if I give half, that is also fully sweet. Even mine is fully sweet. What remains is also fully sweet. So you should understand fullness is a quality of a person who is in focus.
Okay. And when you gave this example of a gym, and coming back to the example of piggy bank also, a gym more importantly, you were saying, or the salary one is like 1,000, right? Then you said he's full at 1,000, then 2,000. So it is about remaining full here, then you get more, or was it like leaving some space, then you can get more filled?
No. You are full always. You are happy, you are joyful, you are
This is
excited.
something very different,
Yeah,
because it's more like, you got my point.
Yeah.
It's more about keeping space. So it's like घर
No.
में जगह बना के रखो तो कुछ सामान आ सकता है. आप बोल रहे हो भर के रखो तो सामान कैसे आएगा?
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying that I have 3 shirts.
हाँ.
There's a lot of shirts I have. Okay. Now, what is that feeling giving you? Abundance.
Yeah.
Now, 3 shirts is abundance for you. Imagine one comes in. Extra, somebody gives you a gift. Oh my goodness. So much I have. I'll give 1. 3 is so much for me. Then somebody says, no, but sir, you're so good. I want to give you 1 more. Because life will keep on adding up, right? You cannot live with 3 shirts. It will keep on adding and you're feeling so overwhelmed and so joy. Now that you have 3 and it's just increasing, you're just getting overwhelmed with it. So now you're living beyond that element of need into an element of prosperity. You have abundance because your need is 3 and you've got 30 now. From that 30, 10 go, 20 go away. Are you sad? you're still in always that joy, abundance.
What about these three? These three we keep?
These three will always be there because that's your need, right? That's what you need. So you should know that being in a state of abundance is what will attract abundance. Being in the state of fullness is what will bring you fullness. So you need to understand void. What is a void? Void is something empty. No, it's not like that. When you want to remain in focus, you need to avoid a lot of things. Okay, avoid means tell no to a lot of things. So empty the other things that are not necessary so that you can get that fullness that is necessary. Otherwise, people think void means to have nothing. No. It means to make everything else empty so that this thing that remains. Like if there is one star on the stage and if there are 100 more people on that stage, it's very difficult to identify which one is the star. So you tell the 99 to get out of the stage, so that one person remains on the stage, and that star is where you say, look at this man, he's the star. So you have to make sure that you avoid a lot of things so that you remain in that void where that one thing becomes the full thing, and that is focus.
Wow, beautifully explained. I think even Alan Watts will be very happy right now when he would have, wherever he is, he would be listening to this. And I mean, amazing. Very nicely you have explained the idea of emptiness,
Yeah.
Like otherwise it's always confusing. What is this emptiness? What is this void you're talking about when you listen to in English? And even when somebody gives an explanation, now that we are doing, maybe it is because you have been talking and we have been talking for so long, but I think so this was the most simplest explanation of the void, and like you avoid all of these
Yes.
things. Can you again just repeat it again? It was so nice.
A void is to keep away,
Okay.
right? That's what you say, your parents say, avoid drugs, avoid bad habits, avoid, the focus on this. Avoid that.
Even
avoid that.
Panchashilas say avoid
Yes.
this.
Avoid. Panchashila is to keep you in the void.
Yeah.
So that what? So that you can cultivate Dhyana. That is the one thing that you want. But how can you cultivate Dhyana? Is only when you are in a void. Avoid, you cannot. So that is why avoid is the method.
That is why it says.
Yeah, emptiness is the method in which you can achieve what you want to achieve.
Yeah.
So focus is a result of avoiding a lot of things and sticking on to what that one thing that you actually are here for.
Wow.
And if you look at it, in our life, here we are to live a life where we are satisfied, where we are at peace, where we are able to do our duties. What needs to be done has to be done. There is no other option. And if you are able to deliver that, I think we have lived a fulfilled life, and contributed what we can contribute in whatever way we can.
Yes. So you also shared that about Vipassana and that on Dhyana. So as we know that Shunya is the short form of Samatha and Vipassana, right? So Samatha means stability and balance. And you were talking about the five senses and the horses. And I remember you saying this very clearly. Stability words comes from stable.
Yeah, the horses.
The horse is stable. Can you share a little
See,
bit?
the horses always run, right? The only way you can keep them stable is put them into the stable, right? They are placed. Keep them there, locked up. Their potential energy is stored. Otherwise, you're running here and there. When you want them to run, they cannot run.
Yeah.
So, stability of the mind is exactly like that. When you are able to keep your mind parked in that state of remaining still, when you want to use it, you just ride upon it and do your job. Maybe a war, maybe you're delivering something. You use your energy in the right way, in a focused manner on the things that you want to deliver. So stability comes from a trained horse. Similarly, a stable mind is a result of a trained mind. And that training is what we talk about in Shunya. And that's the training that you have to go through. A horse takes time to be trained. A wild horse which is not having any direction where it has to go, doesn't allow any rider to ride it. That's how everybody's minds are. But if you get the rider, you get a horse which was wild, now tamed, is more focused, is able to stabilize itself. I think that's the horse that can do a lot of things for you. And then you become the master of your horse. Right? So that's the journey of a training. And that's exactly what we say Dhyana. So Dhyana means the intelligence that rides on something, and that it rides on the stable mind. It rides on a mind that is dynamic also. So Dhi means the buddhi, the intelligence, because intelligence is what you will always require. Because intelligence has the power to take care of all your problems, because you want solutions to your life, and you need that inert intelligence, existential intelligence, that help you to solve those problems. And that's possible when you are able to have a yana, a vehicle on which this dhi can ride, and that is called dhyana. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's the only thing, because you make it so clear. It's like, now
Now enough.
not
but-
enough, but keep on going.
No, but you see, people, then the challenge is if focus is something that has to be cultivated,
There.
isn't that the journey very easy? If you look at it, it was just making your qualities. So groom yourself, go through personal development programs, upgrade yourself, put in that effort so that you have those qualities where you're capable of making a resolution. Then once you are able to decide by saying no to 99 things and yes to one thing,
Yeah.
it may be choosing a career, maybe choosing a path in a career, whatever thing you say yes to, then making sure that your thoughts are aligned with that. How do you make your thoughts aligned by that? Reading about it, meeting people who talk about it, all those things that follow, and so that your thoughts are produced. Thoughts are produced by the environment you are in. After that, you have to make sure that you are able to speak what you have been thinking. Share it with people, interact with people, do the networking, be among those people who are like-minded. That's where you are now creating your ecosystem. This ecosystem is where your livelihood is going to be there, right? You are a cricket player, you want to become a cricket player, but you're hanging out with the football players. Forget it, God bless you, will never be able to play for the country, right? Of any cricket team. Because that's not where you're aligning. Your group is where you should be able to align with. Through conversation, your livelihood will come in. Then once you have those people there, you have to be now in a world where your competitiveness is going to be tested. How much effort are you going to put? Because now in that alike you have to outperform. It's a challenging task, Among the weak, somebody is always strong. Among the strong, your strength is tested, right? That's the challenge. So go among the strong. Go among the ones that actually make you uncomfortable and try to find comfort there. Isn't that we teach what in Dhyana also?
Yeah.
That you cannot try to sit and meditate under a tree in a jungle. Go out in the city where the life is tough. There, if you can find 10 minutes of peace within yourself, that's what ultimate peace is. So if you look at it, that's so much to be done so that you can be in focus. Focus is not a choice that, okay, from today I'll be in focus. Focus is something intangible. It's an outcome of all the tangible things, all the things that you have done. Focus is an outcome of that. But you still have to be making sure that all of that thing ultimately come down to that funnel point, that focus point. Funneling is where you collect everything. But at the end, that tip of the funnel where everything is now going to flow into one stream, that's exactly what focus is. And that's Dhyana. From the Dhyana, we say one who is practicing the Dhyana, we call this person is now, when he is able to do that, we say he's Stroto Apana. He has entered into the stream. Now he's the Stroto Apana. Now he is able to live in that stream. He's going to be in that stream for the time. So he is now entered and he's now on the path of being an Arhant. Okay, he's going to be an Arhant, means somebody who is not going to be affected with anything. He's always going to be focused. He's always going to be able to deliver.
So that is the process of, going completely merging, like from beginning as these steps were those drops, and then you said that these steps are like drops, and then it becomes a river, then it goes into a tributary, and then it goes into the ocean.
Yeah, but
So
but the initial focus is Dhyana is just a stream. It's not yet a river, sorry.
Yeah,
It's just those little drops coming together. It's all excited, super noisy. The stream itself is noisy, but it is there. Now it is collected, all the water drops. It has got a new quality. One was dropping, now this is flowing. You see, but with lot of excitement. So that journey is there. Then lot of streams together. When you will be a lot of, because focus on one, but you'll have to have lot of streams of focus that give you that one.
Within that
right?
one.
Yeah, so you will automatically able to cultivate a river of focus. That's another stage. But there is no life in a stream. There are no fishes in a stream. It's so small. It's so something.
stream can be anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the littlest
A
one.
stream can get lost. You can become a puddle and it's all
Perish
over.
also.
Yeah. So streams are still just the beginning right? So focus is the beginning of the next step that you're going to do. That's the next episode.
Is awareness.
So that's where your main river
Samadhi.
start is going to flow.
Oh, there.
Yeah,
Not even the
no.
focus.
Focus is just, as I told you, focus is the guy sitting on the chair waiting for the water to come out.
Oh.
Okay. When the water is coming out, is it job done? No.
Then the focus.
Then his main thing is now he has to go into the next step where he's going to finish his focus part. But now he has to make sure that his focus and everything is now going to make a hand pump there or a water outlet there, so that hereafter anybody who wants to drink water just pumps a little bit, gets a glass of water. So what he did, he brought everything to a point where it became so easy for others to do it. So that's exactly what focus does. Focus now locks up everything so that then your action begins. Isn't that what you do with the camera?
Yeah.
When you are focused, isn't that when you take the great pictures? Isn't that when you start your shooting? Isn't that when actually the whole scene is set for everybody to see? So what hard work that the cameraman does with his camera of keeping everything in focus is what you enjoy in a big screen in a movie theater.
And in a retreat, you had shared that camera also has nowadays has come with a feature of autofocus.
Autofocus, yeah.
So can we also go into autofocus?
Yeah, your mind has this habit to automate things. And if focus becomes automated, you can imagine how wonderful it would be.
The most amazing thing it would be.
And that it does.
So basic nature of the mind can become being in focus?
Yeah, the basic nature of the mind is getting lost.
Okay.
That's what your topic was
Yeah.
today. So getting lost is when you say yes to all those 99 things where you have to say no. Imagine, it's in the jungle. If you don't know where you have to go, it's when you're getting lost. You will be going round and round. But imagine you see a path and you follow the path. You know that somebody has traveled that path. Maybe somebody has told you, and you stick to the path by saying no to all those things that come along. Even all the desire, you find all those temptation, you say no, and you live on that path and walk on the path. You'll reach where that person has, whoever traveled that path will go. Okay, imagine a ship in the dark night sailing in the sea. How is it going to know where the shore is? It doesn't know. That's why you build lighthouses. Lighthouses on the shore are the indicator for the ship to see that, hey, don't worry. This is where you keep your focus on. Whatever it is, however it is, make sure that your ship comes to this point and you can now, anchor yourself on the shore, take a break before you go sailing again. So all these things, you should have these anchor points.
Yeah, like
you should,
stable for the horses.
yeah, as I told you, the focus is the point where everything comes together, is the preparation before when the chef is now going to cook. So cooking is one thing. So when he's cooking, that's completely focus. Where all the things is going to be cooked up is focus. Focus is the most important thing. If you cannot remain in focus, you might miss everything that you did. You will lose everything you did. So as you said, it's the art of not being lost is focus. And to not being lost is always to follow the map. Okay, so make sure that the map is always there, the mental map, from the point of resolution to the point. So many people now, it's almost March now. You have started March. You have finished January, February. Many people have almost, I can tell you, as I always say, out of 100, 99 are always no. No, they would have not been able to fulfill even the path that they have set themselves on day 31st of December that they promised themselves. They would not even have done that because they never were focused on the path. They were so much in that dream and desire world that they lost the opportunity to stay along in reality and make that into a possibility.
So I think that brings a important episode for everybody, that it's still a reminder that and because it's not about fixing anything. The focus is not fixing yourself to something. Like you were, I had this idea where I was thinking that to fix it, to fix something onto focus. But it became very clear it's not about fixing. Like
it's not about fixing. It's to find where you have to fix your attention to. As the scene changes, so is the focus going to change. As the circumstances changes, your focus is going to change. But focus is making sure that the things that you're doing are done with clarity. Okay, it's very important. For example, you want to be a millionaire, but your focus is in gambling, your focus is in drinking, your focus is in partying. You think this guy will ever become a millionaire?
No.
No. But is he going to never get a chance to do that? Yes, you will someday. But right now, where is your focus? Now is your focus to make sure that you put in the effort and all those things that you need to do so that you are able to make something that you can start your journey to become a millionaire. And that millionaire journey will begin from where effort, what you're going to put, and you remaining focused on that. So focus again is going to be a part of everything. Okay, focus again says concentrated effort, concentrated conversation, concentrated, so not dispersed. You understood? So everything concentrated is focus.
Okay. In this, how do you manage even your, like, there comes a point where relationships are also involved.
Yeah.
One is your types of relationship which are associated to your resolution, but there are also relationships which, because these questions had come, so I just wanted to ask you that because you would become a personality who is just focused on what he wants, then that brings a very selfish outward towards.
But when you took a resolution, wasn't that selfish? That I want this.
was.
When the journey began with self, it began that this is what you want to
But
fulfill.
is it okay to have that attitude?
Of course, it is okay because that's what you did a resolution for. That I want this, and for that, whatever you're doing is all okay. Because at the end, if you want it, or if that want was never there, then there is no need. Yeah, then there is no problem. Because if you're still thinking after you started the journey, whether to do or not, then you're carrying the no along with you. And if you carry the no along with you on the journey, you'll never be in focus.
Yeah.
None of the no's should be in your journey. Let go of the see that is why when we started the Shunya movement, Dr. Lim very nicely put the 9 no's. So that no way we will be inclined to a religion, we will be confusing ourselves. Everything, the 9 no's become the fundamental foundation on which we are able to practice the focused practice of Dhyana.
That put you all in the void just to practice void, where you could avoid all the other things which are not Dhyana. I mean, they were associated, but technically not it. So directly going on to the stage of Dhyana. Great. So, this is very interesting, which you were sharing last time in the evening. I just wanted everybody to listen. I think it is in the Nikayas, the one which you delight in the unattractiveness. Where, what is that? Because now you're saying no. Now, no to things which are attractive, right? And then attraction, you said, is what causes distraction. So just this little idea about on this.
So when you are focused on something, maybe that focus is on a thing that you want to achieve. And you want to achieve because you don't have it. Okay? If you had it, you would not put that into your resolution. You would not say that I want to focus on it. Because if you want something that is not there or you have never had and you want to achieve something, then you have to say no to many things. What no to many things come for is no to the things that distract you. What distracts you? Everything that attracts you. Everything is going to make you feel, come here, like this, and that is going to distract you.
Have you watched that theme?
Which one?
बुलाते हैं पर जाने का नहीं.
So, नहीं, लेकिन it's good. बुलाते हैं पर
जाने का नहीं.
नहीं, बुलाते हैं लेकिन साइड में हट जानी है. Is that also when the bull comes, you just move aside. Okay, but on the other side, on the serious note, all that things that attract you can also be your distraction. Okay, and you should be wise enough to choose what you have to do and remain on that path is what focus is. So saying no to all the attractions and living on the thing that you want to do, maybe that is unattractive. Maybe it's not giving you pleasure. But did you make a choice? You made a choice. So stay with it, man. Be a man and stay with the choice and live with the choice and do it. Accomplish it. Because when you are able to accomplish it, you are already training your mind to fulfill things. And that fulfillment of things will keep you in that phase of fulfillment always.
So that is the law which is working here, which we need to understand. Because the basic doubt which could have come and a no which would have stayed was one of these where, the idea about, if something better comes in, why would you not go at it? Like you were saying, even in our focusedness, we are going towards something which is better, right?
Yeah.
Even when we are focused.
But your focus is on the thing that you want to hit
like
the best.
In the...
No, like on the football ground, there are 2 poles that are kept there as goal posts. They're telling you to hit the ball in that. Now you get a good chance to hit a ball, but not on the goalpost, outside somewhere. But it's beautiful. Nobody in front of you. You're getting distracted. There is my girlfriend in the stadium. I want to hit and show her that I can hit. What is going to happen to you? You're not playing the game. You're not playing the game. Okay, when you are in the game, you have been given certain areas where you have to work on. That have been given targets where you have to fulfill. Take the ball there, shoot it in the goal. If you are able to do that, whatever problems come, whatever discomfort comes, you are able to actually achieve that. And that is what is going to give you that accomplishment.
Great. So it is nice to know that it's not about whether, don't worry about, and if there is still this doubt lingering where...
No, why would somebody worry? Worry is because you don't like it.
Yeah.
Worry is exactly because you don't want it.
Don't want it or don't like it?
You don't like it and that is why you don't want it.
But you said be in the...
so I'm telling you to be in the stuff that you don't like it.
Yeah.
And even if you don't want it, you get it.
Yeah.
That's exactly how you'll get it, right?
Yeah.
So first is you don't like it. That is why you will always say, I don't want it.
But why would someone make a resolution out of the way to have something which they don't like it?
You see, people want big money in their account. Big money. Okay. Now that is the resolution. The resolution is the outcome. They want the fruit of the tree, but they don't want to care for the tree. How is that going to happen? Sorry, sir. You want big money in your account. Your journey of problems begins right now. Yeah. Are you ready for that? No, that I don't want. I don't want anything. I want only big money. It doesn't going to work. And it can work for a person who we call a gambler. Go and try your luck. If you want to live by luck, you live by chance, then you can, roll those dices and you can see if something comes along. But for a person who doesn't like to gamble, who wants to make sure that he is able to achieve it himself, I think for him the journey is always going to be full of problems.
Yeah. But your attire is quite looking like going to a casino.
So no, it's a casino attire because I think I've stopped gambling now. So my attire is left for podcasts like this.
Don't think so, you gamble. No ways.
So this attire is basically, I like it because it's got nothing in it.
But I think you are the one who goes to the casino and asks them stop gambling.
No. No, see, there somebody is making a livelihood. The one who is running the casino. Yeah. He's very focused in his idea. I am running this casino for all these fools who will come and gamble.
Yeah.
And he's making his livelihood. He's very focused.
Yeah.
So somebody is focused. I think that is what we are looking at.
Yeah.
So I think he is more meditative in his work than all those gamblers who are coming there.
Yeah. No, nice. Because I was thinking, where are all these examples coming for? Is it because of the, dresses?
Yeah, maybe the dress. Yeah.
Because sometimes it puts you in a mood, when you're wearing certain clothes, it just gives you that mood. But great that you wore something like this. Good examples. So, now that it was good, I mean, we were able to understand the difference between just gambling and doing things luck by chance, and where the whole effort and the right view, the right resolution, apt resolution which you had, or apt view. Because of that, you had that resolution, that what is it that you are struggling with. And you remember you had said that you have to look, what is it that you are struggling with and what do you want? Because that want, now we today again understood, it's because it should be a need. And only in needs. And I have seen this, around you, and even when you give examples, even yesterday, it was yesterday or day before yesterday, you shared that all the things which come into existence, even that mic, I think so you gave for a mic, this is a majburi for people. And then I saw, even that aspect is very cool to look at it. This was actually a majburi in English would be... a problem only.
Yeah.
A problem for people, that because this came because of a problem, not somebody out there trying to create a solution for nothing. And another important thing which we learned today, I think so, is where we get to understand that when you remain in that fulfillment, that is the only thing which you attract.
Yeah.
And that is why now this has cleared the whole idea. That doubt that whether the grass is greener on the other side or not, because if it is getting green here, it is going to attract more green for sure. So don't worry about whether it is more green there or not here. So that fulfillment, maybe we can, because that is the most important one. Now that we have covered most of it, and we also have these questions and actionable items, if like we need to check time also,
Yeah.
but it's okay, we can post them online, just they can see, and we'll just drop it to them in the chat and they can go through it. For us, for the closing note, would you like to just reiterate on the whole idea here?
Yeah. So the best thing to never get lost is to remain on your path that you are actually being you chose it, right? And that will happen if you are concentrated in your effort, in your action, in your talk, in your thinking. And this concentration skill of your mind does not come by choice. It has to be conditioned. Because minds don't work with choice, they work with conditioning. Mind has this habit of conditioning and then working. So get your mind conditioned to remain concentrated. The art of that is meditative practice like Shunya, where you are concentrating the mind through a process, a technique, and this technique will then make sure that everything you do will be in a concentrated form, and you will be able to focus naturally, effortlessly, and you will be able to deliver what you want to deliver in life, and never ever have to put in that extra struggle or effort, because it becomes natural to you to remain focused. And I think that if somebody can live such a life, I think he's already having the taste of what we call peace, and definitely what is going to follow prosperity, he will be able to enjoy.
Yeah. Thank you, and also that we get to know the power of Shunya here.
Yeah.
That how powerful it is. That it can, if we follow the techniques and practice the techniques, it can lead us to cultivate a mind which can effortlessly stay in focus. And I think it is coming at this stage. It also is like the foundation for all of these things to manifest us also. Like even your view or your resolve would be only a result of a effortless focus. And even if you want to have that intention, it should be effortless. It should not be an effort, because if it is an effort, it's like you'll always have to run behind. It's like more of me and the horse going on a journey, or me going and chasing the horse, which is never possible. The horse is always going to be faster, and even the words will flow out right. All of these things are, I mean, amazing that this is the basis of it. So thank you for joining in today. Thank you for coming, and this I know that you have to leave now. Otherwise, I had more things planned, but still, thank you even for taking out the time today and out of your busy schedule. And hope so we see you next time in the next sessions, which is about the most important.
The outcome.
The outcome.
Yeah.
It's the Samadhi.
Yeah.
Can you brief us, like, before we end this?
At the point of focus, remember again we go to the one who is digging the well. When the water comes out and he is seen now that all his effort is started to now blossom, is able to give that thing that he wanted. At that moment, he sets up the system so that now there is always that kind of samadhi, a state of balance, a state of no more struggle, and he is able to now enjoy it for himself and the people around. So this is that next step that is going to follow. So all those people who are on the journey of fulfilling their resolution, at this point of focus, where they will see the results start coming up, like a simple result, like in your case, in a studio, you're getting an admission. That one admission is good enough for you to know that the water is
readmission also.
Yeah, now again readmission, and then you'll see that now is the time to bring it to a balance, that samadhan state, that samadhi state, and that's where you'll now cultivate and make processes and plans and marketing and everything. Now you can do that. Now you can grow it multifold.
Yeah.
You understood?
Because we got the endorsement.
Exactly. Because now you know the system works. Now you know, now you have to magnify it. Now you have to magnify. And that's what is going to be very important next session, where you will remain in that state of balance, where you are able to keep on adding stuff.
Samadhi is balance, right?
Yeah.
Samadhi, we think that it is the end, because now you have this.
No, it's the beginning.
Oh.
Samadhi is the beginning of your journey in meditation. That is why even in Shunya, Samadhi is just the state where you start beginning your meditative journey. It is not the end. No. It is when you are Samadhi. You see, when you're climbing a ladder, you put your leg on the first step and you are satisfied in Samadhan that this is right. Then you let go of that and you go to the next step. Then you feel, this is right. Now I'm in Samadhan with this. Then you go. Samadhan is the way you move forward in life. Samadhi is the beginning of your prosperity journey. So Samadhi is the state of your liberation. Samadhi is where you are going to be set free for the rest of your life from all those things. Now here there is no more solution needed. There is no more resolution needed, because now you are satisfied. Now everything is just flowing to you. And now you have to just do is go through the circle of what you're doing again and again, and make sure that you're able to don't go round and round, but spring up towards where you always want to go off. You understand?
Yeah. That explanation just brought, like you were giving this example of that, digging well.
Yeah.
When you were explaining, it was like pump of something happening, because Samadhi, even, it's confused, a very confused idea out there when we speak of, but you putting it so simply that no, it is not beginning, it is rather the end, where you can now start your journey.
Yeah.
And how it is the beginning of all.
So when you eat, when you put first morsel in your mouth and chew and you put it down, that's when you're satisfied with that thing that went in your mouth. That is Samadhi. That is why your next mouth piece will come, right?
But what we got to know and we learned over the period of years is that Samadhi is when you have eaten and you have now finished the
No. That's your state where you have eaten. But is it the eaten that you will never eat again?
No.
That day you finish eating, but next time you'll eat something better. Maybe
that cannot be considered Samadhi.
So now you're okay with this. Maybe you'll go and have another one.
So the whole concept of Samadhan does not exist with which they talk about, that there is this like not being hungry ever. I mean, if you are dead, you are dead, but while
you will need to upgrade yourself always, right? Otherwise, satisfaction is so easy, Eating one meal a day and you're okay, done. But is that the solution? No. Eating one meal a day, every day. Every day is also there, not one day. Every day. So you cannot be satisfied with one day. You have to do that every day. So you're dissatisfied again. So coming to the point of every time fulfilling your dissatisfaction with the, right satisfaction is the key. So maybe you're earning 10,000 now. You're satisfied. But that satisfaction is where you can trigger the next dissatisfaction, that 10,000 is possible. I think I can now aim myself for 15,000. 15,000 is possible. I can aim myself for 20,000. Now you're progressing. You're taking one step at a time. Now the one who's crawling on 4 legs is started to walk on 2 legs. Maybe he started to run on 2 legs. And maybe he's able to ride on a horse and now go faster. Who knows? You have to progress. Your journey is to progress. That is why even in Shunya, we have stepwise 7 steps. It's one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. While he's passed first, we put him into the next one, which is tougher. We put him into another one, which is more tougher. Every time we make sure that he achieves the state of satisfaction and equilibrium with every state that he is going. And if he can achieve all the equilibrium states, he is in equilibrium with any state.
But you confused me again in the last.
What?
Do you have time?
Yeah. I have time.
Now again, the example when you gave with 1,000, you were saying be fulfilled.
Yeah.
Now when you are saying about 10,000, you are saying about the next step.
Exactly. You first, are you happy with what you got? Yes, I'm super happy. My container is full. Now I'm flowing. Things are flowing. Have I the ability to increase my container size? Yes or no? Am I flexible?
What is the other aspect which people are already doing, where you said...
No, they are going with big container. They are going with big container without being satisfied. They are not delivering what's supposed to be.
Their container is fixed.
Yeah, so their container, say, I want 1 lakh rupees a month. That's the first person who comes to me for a job, asks me, I don't give him a job. Because he is judging himself in terms of his money. And I say, no, I'll give you this much. Do you want to continue? I had a guy who worked with me. He came from Middle East. And when he came, he was super excited, this thing. I looked at him in COVID times. We did not need any staff. So I wanted to avoid him. And I told him, you're already from Dubai and all those things. So we have a job, but right now I think you're too qualified for that. No, sir, I want a job. I want to work. I don't want to stay idle. I said, okay, then I give you 10,000. He says, okay, sir. And 10,000 was like lesser than the one that I was giving to my housekeeping guys. And this guy is an engineer. He took the job. And I could not say no to him because he took the 10,000 rupee job, and he took up the job and he started working, and he started staying there for almost 12 hours and working so much. I was like, now what? He was doing everything. Then I felt so ashamed. I gave him 35. Then I felt so ashamed that he was still working so much. Then we gave him 3 lakh. Then we send him to Dubai. You handle the factory.
Wow.
Within no time, in almost a year, he was going back to what he was supposed to do. So he had a flexible container.
Yeah.
And he had the guts to even argue with Dr. Leroy, you better speak to me rightly. So there are these people who have these flexible containers. They are never dissatisfied. They are satisfied with everything and they feel everything is the same. So then because we need them so much, we keep on having a lot of value added to them. And that's how they grow. And if everybody learns this skill, it's what are you trading? People are not interested in your time. What you do in that time, people are interested. If you can trade that and you show your value of that time that you're being traded, people will buy your time at any cost, at any price. You understand? A time of Shah Rukh Khan for a minute will cost you more than any other Tom, Dick and Harry who just wants to give you whole day also. You don't need that whole day from that guy. But you would give anything for that minute for Shah Rukh Khan, right? It's like that. So how valuable you become through the process of setting up a resolution, adding up all those skills and remaining focused. Focused is the key. If you can not get lost so that everybody can find you whenever they need you. Remember the cobbler? That is the value you should be. If you remain focused, under the tree. Okay, doing this. And we get better and better and better in that. And that's how you grow. And your container should be flexible. But it should not become static and remain that much only. No, now enough. Nothing beyond this. No. That is why when you do your red belt, when you practice, you are now able to do your 99 to 0 very nicely. Okay, now you do the double count. As soon as you do, you think now that's no, you have to do no count. So we keep on making those challenges for you so that you progress slowly.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. That was it. And again,
yeah.
I mean, let's satisfy ourselves in the next session. For today, thank you so much for joining in, and everybody who has been watching and the ones who are in studio, thank you for being there, patiently watching us, and hope so this helps you in your journey of the manifestation and the part focus which has come in, where we learned about a lot of things, where at the core we get to know that how if things come in and we get lost, that is not the answer. Don't forget that getting lost can be a part, but you not getting lost is still possible for you, and that can be cultivated through all of these steps. So if you keep on following it and regularly, it should be in front of you. Like this one habit, I have seen that it should be always in front of you. And you were sharing this concept of mental image. So should we do it so much that it becomes a mental image, or we try to, because if initially when we try to do, it's not directly popping in the mental realm, so we do it so much that it becomes a mental image.
Yes.
So keep on doing it, keep on repeating it, and make sure you have your goals and plans, like the vision board is set and all of these things are there in front of you, and that helps you. So thank you, and we'll see you again on the next Tuesday at 10 a.m.